Boozing with gays.
You know I gotta hear it again.
Here we go.
Boozing with gays.
Oh, every time I hear that, I just want to say David O, John Lawrence Rivera, and our wonderful Jennifer Lee Warren did that for us.
Thank you one more time. So,
Here we go. Cheers. What are we having, darling?
we are having a sea breeze.
What's in a sea breeze?
This is the recipe I found online. It was 1.5 ounces vodka, 3 ounces cranberry, 1.5 ounces pineapple juice. But do you want to know what I did?
More vodka?
I just added stuff. Well, those three things. I don't know that I copied the recipe.
You know what? Back in the day when I was bartending, we would just do half and half.
Just
vodka, half and half.
Did you do a lime? I did a little squeeze of lime too.
I did not buy a lime today. I went to the grocery store and they didn't look good.
No, don't buy
Aldi's. I went to the Aldi's.
Aldi's usually has good produce, don't they? That's a bit odd.
Yeah, today the limes didn't look very good. So I was like, I don't need a lime. I'll be fine.
I'm going to welcome everyone who tunes in to Boozing with Gays this fabulous Friday.
Fabulous.
April 1st. April Fool's Day Friday. My name is Hutch Foster, and this is my amazing husband, Michael A. Shepard.
Hello, darlings.
And we're going to be boozing, talking a bit boozing.
Boozing and being gay. It has, for real, it has been a week.
Oh, here, let me put the thing up. See if I can find it really quickly.
It has been a week.
When you say it slower, I'm better at getting the little tab.
I tell you.
Are you going to tell us about your week?
It's like, well, first of all, I mean, my computer died.
Oh.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Alice. My computer died.
Right.
And it's connected to the motherboard, and I'm pissed because the computer's been like less than a year old. So I got to send it in, but it's under warranty. So I went out and bought a brand new computer that I can return to Costco. Don't tell anybody, but that's what I'm doing. Return it on Sunday before I leave. And then it locked me out.
For reasons unknown.
We don't know why. It's just it locked me out. So I'm doing this on my phone. So I don't have any notes we have. I don't know orders. I don't know nothing.
Well, I will lead you. I will be the one. I will be your Sherpa. You
will be my shepherd.
Well, that seems weird. So I have been... I decided since season 2 of Bridgerton dropped, I go, I should really watch Bridgerton. I remember liking that show. And then I thought to myself, did I watch Bridgerton? I couldn't even remember if I'd watched the whole season. I did not watch the whole season, Michael.
No.
We didn't watch the whole season.
We've been lying about it.
I missed 2 episodes. So I went back and I said, well, I really don't know what I didn't watch. So I went back to season 1. I watched the whole thing and I went, we didn't watch 2 whole episodes. So we never figured out how really that whole storyline ended. But I started the new season. Anyway, but I've been into right before I joined on with you. I'm like watching because I had to see what happened with beep. I can't say. But it's a fabulous show. Shonda Rhimes in England.
Shonda Rhimes, baby.
Yep.
I want to be part of her family. Trust me. Shonda Land, I'm waiting.
So I guess I will do the reading because you said you have a hard time. You can read that.
Actually, I can see that.
Well, go. Take it.
Copyrighted material may. This is our fair use statement.
Excerpts of copyrighted material. Go.
May, under certain circumstances, be quoted verbatim for purposes such as criticism, news reporting, teaching, and research without the need for permission from or payment to the copyright holder.
Ding, ding, ding.
To do though, baby, because I don't have my usual setup, so I can't really see chats or any of that stuff that much. I see a little bit. Hey, Taryn. Hey, Ashley. I have to go back and forth screen to screen, so. You can say hi to people. You can do that. Okay. I shaved my head too.
I know. I actually like that. I put my hair in a bun.
By the way, I'm home on Monday. This is the
You're
last
so
boozing
excited. We
days.
are so excited. I cannot tell you.
It's the
Well,
last.
and we're off next week.
We're off next week.
Yeah.
Family reasons. We have family stuff we have to do.
We'll be back in 2 weeks together in the same room, which is
in
awesome.
the same room. Oh, honey, when I get back, we're going to be in the same room.
Could you spell that out, please?
SECULAR, secular.
Secular, succular. Let's suck the whole thing off.
Oh, you will.
Yesterday, Michael Shepard, was International Transgender Day of Visibility, which is a very long day to talk about.
I love that, but it's like the trans community is becoming so strong and so prevalent.
Yes.
I think that we need more than a day. It's sort of like Black History Month used to be Black History Week, and I think that we need to expand at least Trans Visibility Day to Trans Visibility Week, and then eventually Trans Visibility Month, except not February.
I am not seeing that happen anytime soon, knowing our government. It seems like we are a little slow on the uptick. I'd like to read do you want to read the quote? You're good at this stuff. But I have a Biden quote that I really liked.
On this Transgender Day of Visibility, we honor transgender people who are fighting for freedom, equality, dignity, and respect. We also celebrate the parents, teachers, coaches, doctors, and other allies who affirm the identities of their transgender children and help these young people reach their potential.
I thought that was an amazing quote. Yes, that was our president. And, we haven't had too many presidents talk about trans rights in my, I don't remember if even Obama did, but that was awesome. The couple of things that I saw was that now you can choose X on your passport as opposed to male or female. There will be another box. They're trying to align themselves with, or they have aligned themselves. They're expected to, the Transportation Security Administration and the Department of Homeland Security. So there'll be other forms and such, maybe on your driver's license or whatever, where you can mark an X as opposed to male or female.
See, that is so cool. That is so cool to me. I mean, because just to recognize that, it's just beautiful. Hey, Zelma.
And Fox, to celebrate this, decided to bring Caitlyn Jenner on as a commentator.
Okay.
We have different points of view on this, but go ahead. You do yours.
Yeah, we do have completely different points of view, because let's talk about Miss Caitlyn Jenner.
Go, dude.
Because Miss Thing has, as you said, she's been promoted to Fox News as a commentator. And we watched that.
She is conservative. She is a Republican.
Oh, she's super conservative.
Yes, she is.
And the thing is that I'm going, first of all, if someone said, hey, Michael Shepard, I want you on the KKK network as a commentator, because ain't nothing we hate more than Black people, so come on in. I'll be like, no, thank you. I don't believe I should be in this room with you people. But Caitlyn Jenner's punk ass has decided, hey, Stacey, has decided that she wants to be in bed with people who every day talk about how transgender people are nothing. They don't believe in transgender people. They hate transgender people.
I think you're because what we're talking about. One thing that they're saying on Fox is that Caitlyn Jenner is not, like, I can't think of the word, not like aggressively not an aggressive trans person, won't push a trans agenda type thing. In other words, she's sort of soft trans, right?
No, what she is she's transphobic for a trans person. And when she was on last night to be introduced, she kept saying, well, I'm more than just a trans person. Well, yeah, we all know that.
She was on Hannity last night. I don't even know if that was an official Fox segment where she got paid. I don't know if that was. I don't know what the hell that was. She was on Hannity last night, and Michael and I, you heard it. I watched it, and was sort of, there was nothing there necessarily.
So I mean, it's like, it's like, what is the
That's it. So this Stacey has the thing. Did you see her quote saying, "I'm a trans woman, not a trans activist"? That's what makes Fox very comfortable. But wait, can I give the other side of this real quickly?
the other side? Because
My thought is this. I mean, we all know people probably watching this show probably disagree with Caitlyn Jenner 99% of the time. I'm not disillusioned with that one. I totally get that. But here's the deal. Fox has a trans person on their show. And even though, Caitlyn doesn't believe what I believe, and very possibly, Caitlyn will say things like, "I'm not a trans activist," and all this stuff that we're all going, "Oh my God, stop." There's a trans person on Fox, and that's going to start seeping into the mindset, kind of like what we needed back, Michael, when you and I got married. There was no gay marriage anywhere, and then, it'd be on this TV show or on that news program or whatever, and the next thing you know, everyone's like, whatever, gay marriage. I think that we need these little inroads wherever we can get them, even if we disagree with the person that's making the inroad, in order to have the door go fully open. So I actually think it could be a positive.
I'm going to let you have your opinion.
Well, I got a better one. Do you want a better one?
Is it about Caitlyn Jenner? Probably not.
No, we're moving forward, honey. That was a segue.
Oh, let's segue in.
That was a segue. Okay. So on the TV show Umbrella Academy, the character that was once Vanya Hargreaves is now Victor Hargreaves. Because Elliot Page, they now what they're saying that is the character trans? Do we know? I don't know that we really know.
The character is going to be reintroduced as male.
As Victor.
As male. I don't know what they've actually done or how they're going to handle it, but I love that show. Well,
I got to say, when Elliot Page came out as male, when that was announced, that show immediately went back into their episodes and changed the name immediately. So on all of their credits, it said Elliot Page. I was very impressed with that. So it doesn't surprise me that they're doing this. I think it's awesome. I feel like they are allies. I'm going to use that word more. You make me intimidated using the word allies, but I felt like the people on that show are allies. So I thought that was awesome.
Can you put up what Terrence said about Caitlyn Jenner being the Candace Owens of transgender folks?
Oh, that's the wrong one.
That's the one. She's a token.
But if you and I talked 3 years ago, do you think they'll ever have a trans commentator on Fox? I don't think we would have said yes. So who knows? It might be a marriage made in heaven for them, and it'll be horrible for the rest of us. But I'm moving.
I don't know, but I mean, it's like, here's the deal. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back, but it's like Caitlyn's still bringing a whole bunch of privilege. She held on to all that privilege. So
you know what about this whole subject matter? You know who had something to say about it?
Who?
Ron Perlman.
Good morning, Governor DeSantis. Ron here. Don't say gay. Don't say as the first two words in a sentence spoken by a political leader of a state in the United States of America. Don't say. Don't fucking say, you fucking Nazi pig. Say. First Amendment. Read about it. Then run for office. You piece of shit.
I just think we all want to talk to Ron DeSantis like that.
I gotta say this about Ron Perlman. Smash. Smash.
Smash.
I would smash it. I know he is not your typical Hollywood beauty, but oh, baby, that's
voice though. That voice, it sends you places. It just goes into.
Out there with smash Ron Perlman.
What's his
section?
sexual?
Hey Robin, hey Dion, hey Banks, hey Ashley.
Look, you're doing the haze.
I can see some stuff, but I usually have my Facebook page up too, so I can't see everything.
So one of the things that I read, there was a couple articles. This one was in the Washington Post. And it was talking about the damage it had all of these teens, these trans teens, non-binary teens on this article. They were all from Florida, and it was talking about how they foresee the Say Gay bill, or if you don't want to call it that, the HB 1557, how they foresee that hurting them. One of them had this great story how they had an advisor or a teacher who might have been gay and was able to talk them through a really hard time of bullying at school. And the thought is, with the Don't Say Gay bill, that teacher may not be able to do that. I think that's what's so upsetting about it. We don't know what it means, because if a parent, because the parents are given some power here, if the parent, a different parent, says, hey, there's a teacher at your school who's talking, gay rhetoric or trans rhetoric at your school, that parent then has the power to possibly get the teacher fired. And there's the problem. And so they're talking, anyways, just to round out. And so they're talking about the problems already that are in Florida. And I have some odds here I can read that of a survey that went out in 2019. They're already so horrible about the number of children that feel bullied, that with this bill in place and with the threat that teachers could get fired for, here you're in kindergarten. One of the two kids goes, I have two daddies. And the teacher not knowing how to even incorporate that into whatever they're talking about, learning about whatever, might even shut that down. And then what do they make the kid feel? This is the issue at hand, is it's really bad teaching style. Teachers riff. They have to use what comes in the classroom. And then what I'm hearing on the right wing, of course, we just watched Hannity last night with Caitlyn Jenner, and it's like, they're just, all they're doing is they're stopping the teaching of homosexuality in K-3. Why are the liberals getting so angry? No one's teaching.
No
one's teaching gay anything.
It's never been a thing from K to third grade. It's never been a thing.
But if a kid comes in the room and says, I have a friend with two mommies, that can't be just ignored in that moment. What if one of the other kids boos that or something? That becomes a teachable moment for the class. But the government has taken that teachable moment away. Anyway, I do want to say something before I get into
they can also sue the parent. They can sue the teacher.
Sue the teachers.
And they sue the school district.
And because no one knows how far anyone's going to go, the thought is these teachers, who could be quite amazing, are now going to totally backpedal whatever they've done before, not being as supportive because they don't know, they don't want to lose their job.
But here's the thing. If we're not talking about sex, because they're talking about sex, right?
I know that's unclear. There's not a clarity with this law. Trust me.
Because, okay, if we're talking about gender, then we can't talk about, that little boy has a girlfriend or that little girl has a boyfriend. We can't talk about that either.
No, that's not what the law says. The law's talking specifically about homo culture, trans culture. They're not talking about anything that's heterosexual.
But let's be clear, we should not be talking about heteronormative relationships either. Period.
Well, but you're putting it through your filter, where we got to go to Florida now to try to understand that perspective, which is, let me read these things real quickly. It's not a lot. It's just, this is a 2019 report from the National Advocacy Group. I don't know this advocacy group. It's GLSEN. Glisten. True. This is 2019, before the law was in place, found that 80% of LGBTQ youth in Florida regularly heard homophobic or transphobic remarks in school, including from teachers. That's 80% of the students. And just a quarter, about 28%, said the faculty and staff were effectively intervened to stop the abuse. So a quarter of the teachers stopped the abuse. That's too little already. Now you're taking that 28% away. It's going to be 10% at best. It's really horrible.
It's horrible. It's just horrible. And I just feel saddened. I mean, the fact that we're in a place where our youngest can be whoever they want to be and be celebrated in our house for that, and be celebrated in their school.
Yeah.
And it's just, and to not have that when it's so hard already on kids, particularly, it's like, because here's the deal. Kids are going to know about gay folks regardless.
Maxwell has a story at their school. They said that one of their friends, I'm moving slowly in this. I'm sorry in the intro, but one of their friends went up to a girl that misgenders in the school, and this is an art school in downtown LA. So basically, everyone's bi, gay, pan. Everyone's something. No one is. There's very few just straightforward cisgendered folks at the school. It's just everyone is everything. And I think many of us parents kind of relish that, to be honest. They get to figure out who they are and how they're going to move forward. And I think it's awesome. But there's this one girl that Maxwell was talking about that misgenders. And one of Max's friends just went right up next to the girl, sat down next to her and said, look, this friend that you're misgendering of mine does not go by whatever it is, he or she, but is that, and just totally laid it out for this child. And that would never be allowed in Florida. That's the thing that gets me. So the allies can't even speak out. You can't even go and say, hey, that's uncool. And that's problematic.
I know, it's horrible. I do want to answer Alice's question. Alice, smash means I'd do it with them. I would do it. I would do it with Ron Perlman.
So this is your intro. There were at a big award ceremony this week. Michael, you said you wanted to intro this.
First of all, Jan Monroe is here, baby.
Hey,
Linda Sterling Gray. I love you, Linda Sterling.
Did I tell you that I saw Jan recently?
I know you saw it at the theater.
And I didn't know who it was. You know, we were all doing this. But yeah, he had to say Jan Monroe. I felt so guilty. Hi, Jan.
Okay, so here's the deal, y'all. I know you want us to talk about this. It's been huge. It's been a huge thing. And we're going to have to address it, and we have to talk about it. And it's very controversial. But I think we need to discuss this. And I hope that you stay around and comment
Heavily.
Your feelings and your thoughts behind this.
Awards.
The awards season.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it right now. The Razzies.
The Razzies.
We're going to talk about the Razzies. The Razzies. Oh, poor Diana.
So,
Diana Spencer for hire.
do you ever like look at the Razzies and go, I haven't seen any of these movies? We saw a little bit of Diana, you and I.
Yeah.
Diana the musical. So just to give you the top pictures, Diana the musical, 9 nominations. We saw maybe 15 minutes. Karen, 5 nominations. I did not see Karen. Did you see Karen?
Karen was it was put together so quickly because it's about a white woman who terrorizes black people.
How I'm not surprised. The title sounds awesome. I think I'd want to go see that. The Woman in the Window with 5 nominations. Saw that. Amy Adams, Sheik Cray. In the Window.
But let's
Space Jam: A New Legacy, 4 nominations. I did not see.
no.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Our commentator. David C. Nichols just needs to come on the show.
The Razzies got it right. Absolutely, they did.
Anyway, those we thought we would list a couple of them. But there's the big Razzie Award that we have to talk about, Michael.
Bruce Willis.
Well, technically, it's the worst performance by Bruce Willis in a 2001 movie is the title of the award because he did so many Razzie movies. I never saw it. It was for Cosmic Sin. I don't know Cosmic Sin. Do you?
Don't know any of them.
Don't know. He won. So just to clarify, Bruce Willis won his own award for his own category, which I think is its own uniqueness for Cosmic Sin.
But I do want to say this: while we're having light of this situation, we send nothing but love and health and positivity to Bruce Willis because he was diagnosed with aphasia, which is an illness that starts to take away your faculties. Yeah. Particularly memorization. And
also he's leaving acting.
Yeah, which is a very I don't know what that would feel like.
So I have a quote that the Razzies put out. The Razzies are truly sorry for Bruce Willis' diagnosed condition. Perhaps this explains why he wanted to go out with a bang in 2021. Our best wishes to Bruce and his family. I found that very tongue-in-cheek and not cool.
I don't know. Anyway,
the Razzies rescinded the award for Bruce Willis And while they were at it, they said, hey, we're also going to rescind the award to Shelley Duvall in The Shining, or she had a nomination. I don't think she had a reward for The Shining. And the reason why they rescinded hers is because she was evidently terrorized by Stanley Kubrick since in the making of the movie. I have no proof. I can't say one way or the other. I guess it's been documented. I think I've seen all those movies, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Cassandra.
So that's all we're going to talk about in regards to awards season. We're done with the awards season. No more awards.
Oh, we though.
Or April Fools.
Don't make me slap you.
Ding.
Yeah.
This is how we're starting this segment.
Okay, here's the messed up thing about that. That picture had nothing to do with that moment.
Probably did, but that picture is what we all felt. So I think Eve, whether it wasn't in the moment,
All right,
she stretched her face more than she did in being the Ricardos. Look. Did I say that?
that was a mess. She had more expression there than she did. Hey, Matthew Black had more expression there than she did in the entire movie.
Being the Ricardos. There we go. All right, the slap that's heard around the world. Everyone wants it. No one cares about me, Michael, in this. They want to hear from you. Your take.
So here's
Now, here's the deal. Just so you know, I have 3 clips if we want to use them. I think you know the 3 clips we have. Just let me know. You don't have to do it, or we do it.
I want to say this, and I want to hear everyone else's opinions. First of all, I'm tired of hearing about this. There's so many other things that I think are much more important to be dealing with now.
I'm going to be right back. Something's happening in our house. You keep talking.
Oh, I wonder what's happening in the house. I think there's a lot of things that we need to be talking about. Yes, we can talk about mental illness. We can talk about physical violence and how we should never lay hands on people. But I also want to talk about the fact that there's this whole thing within the Black community about slapping. And I can't get into the nuances of that description, but sometimes things happen. And I want to say that there are things that for me, this is going to be handled within the Black community, a little bit with those folks. And I think we need to move away from it now because it's taking up too much air and too much space in our everyday lives. Not that it's not interesting and we go, oh, because we're in that, I need a distraction and this is the perfect distraction. And we don't know why he went up and slapped him. It could have been for a G.I. Jane joke. I think there's a lot of other stuff that's happening there. What are the clips that we have, babe?
Well, I'm going to show you one just because it's short. Because where are we done here? Sorry.
No, you'll find it. You will. You'll find it.
This one, I mean.
Yeah, it's like.
Yes, I mean, right after the joke, just to say what that was, I mean, Will laughed immediately. Jada, of course, gave it side eye, didn't like it. And within, I would say, 12 seconds, Will was up on the stage hitting Chris Rock.
I think it was
after that. Yeah.
Built that way. What's the other clip? Oh, so then there's this whole thing about, Jada and her reaction to it. And
do you want that?
I want to show that.
Well, I have the Japanese one that doesn't have the cuts that you sent me, which I don't think it really is necessary.
We're talking about this thing, and I just there's just a thing here with Jada's reaction.
Right, here we go. Do you want me to display it?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is so this is someone who was behind them in the audience who was taking video that ended up going online.
Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm going to, okay? That was it. Greatest night in the history of television.
So what they showed by that is, if you were kind of watching Jada, is there were moments where it looked like she was laughing or appreciative or of
Got slapped.
the comedy, yeah, of the slap and stuff. So people, I can't commentate on. I don't know anything.
So much. There's so much nuance in this whole thing. And the one thing I want to say is that he did resign today from the Academy.
In the Academy, yes.
Yeah.
And the Academy still has I don't know what investigation you do. I mean, we all saw it. It's not like, the one thing, and I'm going to say this from my perspective, when I saw the whole thing, I thought it wasn't real. I thought it was a joke because they were they did show like maybe the award following. They showed, Will Smith laughing. They would cut away. And I felt like Chris Rock had such composure. I said, I think this might have been staged. It just was staged badly. And maybe they didn't know exactly. Anyway, I was a little clueless, to be very honest.
I thought it was a joke. And
I didn't know that it was going to happen.
Till I heard that blackness come out and go, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I was like, this is real.
Yeah.
This is real, because there was a tone to that as black folks, we all heard that, went, oh shit. Oh shit.
It was really weird. I have two commentaries on this, Michael. I have Tiffany Haddish and Wanda Sykes. Should we go to those?
Dude, I don't know if I want to, because you know what I would like to do? And then tell me if you feel this way. Why don't we celebrate the wins of the night as opposed to this?
I would like to say just this, though, about that whole thing. We don't have to play those clips, but we can say what it's about. Tiffany Haddish basically was talking hey, I'm glad, he supported his woman. And Wanda Sykes was very much like, why didn't they remove him from the theater right away? There were two very different takes. And I think that's where many of us are. We have many different thought process on it. We're like, hey, what's going on? Why did they stand up during his speech? Why, whatever. There were so many things to think about. But one thing that just felt so crystal clear to me in watching this, and I have no insight to Will Smith. I know nothing really about his life except what's on Red Table Talk. That was a joke. Because it's out there. God knows. What?
Entanglement.
But is that he seemed like a man on edge and someone who either might need therapy, should be in therapy. I was wondering if Scientology played a part in that at one point, going, is this a Scientology thing? Like he's, is he loose because of that?
Scientologist.
Say that again? He's
allegedly Scientologist.
Well, no, I mean, there's definite connections to Scientology. There's not a connection that he's recently in Scientology. Yeah. Supposedly the two of them quit. She evidently was much more involved with it, the whole thing. And then the word was always dabbled in all the articles. He dabbled in it.
Hey, Michael Matthews.
I don't know, but it did feel like he needs to take care. He needs to take care of himself. He needs to get back on his groove. I mean, that was someone who went 0 to 60, boom, like that. And you don't want anyone like that out in society. Anyone, anywhere, right?
Well,
we have a son who has difficulty with this very subject matter, Michael. We want him to be able to.
You have a husband who can go from 0 to 60 in certain situations, as you know.
Slam.
Boom. But let's talk about the people. Let's talk about things that are not surrounding this. Because guess what? We all need to take a fucking moment back and leave this shit alone, because the people who go handle it. And guess what? In the real world.
So I have one question for you.
What's that?
Who wore it better?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Everyone can comment. Put it in the comments. Who wore it better? Timothée Chalamet or Kristen Stewart? Who wore it better? What do you think of those looks, by the way, Michael?
You know what? Guess what? God bless her. And
I love both of them. I'm not joking. People picked on Kristen Stewart. I'm like, you know what? She is being authentic. Boom. I love it for her.
And I want to wear these little culottes, these little cutoff shorts, and I'm going to be comfortable. The problem is that everyone talks about how cold it. Hello.
Leslie Jordan also posted a "Who wore it better" moment.
Leslie Jordan wore it better. I'm gonna say that right now.
It's all about the glasses and the hand.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I love it.
We're talking.
I thought people looked so. There are some people who looked really good, but I was curious about. There's that.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there.
Oh,
Hold on. This is another "Who wore it better" moment. You have to pick. It's this is.
I don't know about this. Okay.
I know. Because I put it together. You're not. No. Who wore the funeral parlor drapes better? What's that?
Wait.
I can't even. It's a Jenner. Which Jenner is that? I always forget all their names. Or was it Billie Eilish?
I believe her name is Stanky Jenna.
Stanky Jenner or Billie Eilish? Who wore it better? I honestly don't understand this. Do you remember when we joked about the Met Gala and we wore sleeping bags? That's what that reminds me of. I feel like they're wearing sleeping bags, wearing drapes.
I don't know. But
What do we got in the comments?
As Matthew Black said, honey, if I had Timothy Chalamet's body, I would be shirtless all day, every day. All day, every day.
Oh, no, I didn't know this. Chris Rock quoted the Scottish tragedy in the theater minutes before. Chaos was bound to ensue. The curse is real, peeps. Just saying. I don't believe in the curse. Michael does.
Wait. Here's the thing. He said the Scottish play to someone who portrayed King Richard, who has the same initials as William Shakespeare.
What are we talking about now? But also the Scottish, first of all, the Scottish movie was actually a nominated film. How do you get through a ceremony without saying it?
Scottish play.
It's a movie. It's not a play.
Scottish movie.
People out there might not know what we're talking about.
Right. So let's talk about
Michael Matthews says the curse is
DeBose becoming the first queer woman of color Afro-Latina to win an Academy Award. Come on now.
I got another one. Here's another. Who did it better? This is a group shot. Ready? Who did it better? The red dress impish actor bald fart better. Who? Which group? Is it Juno or White Men Can't Jump?
No.
Who did it better?
I'm going with Juno. I said that.
I have to say something. I didn't understand those moments. White Men Can't Jump? Really? Really?
Hey, Adam Alexander.
At least was a nominated movie.
Okay. Babe, you have to put up what Adam Alexander says. That is perfect. The movie formerly known as the Scottish play. Boom. That says
well, actually, it's the making of the movie formerly known as the Scottish play.
That's everything. So we got Ariana DeBose. We have Troy Kotzer.
Michael, we're not there. We're doing style. You can't jump ahead. We're not done with Oscars style.
Okay, style.
You can't. You told me that I'm leading it. You can't then take load. Okay. Men were wearing very colorful suits.
Love it.
I do not like the pink.
Simu Liu and I are going to have an affair. I'm just going to put that out there.
You and who?
Simu Liu.
Well, he looks awesome.
Oh, baby, bye. Lord Jesus.
There were many different silhouettes.
A tree grows in Brooklyn.
So the thing I like about Maggie Gyllenhaal is it looks like she could hang her purse on one of those hooks. She gets tired. I'm going to hang my purse on my hooks. I think that Olivia Colman looks like she's like literally it's a Princess Leia. It just has that energy, doesn't it? I think she looks awesome, actually. Jada looks so severe. Severe. We know where that went. And I have one more. And this is what, so the title of this particular slide is actually, it's actually the title of an article in Jezebel, the magazine Jezebel. So I didn't, these are not my words, but I thought they were apropos. The real winner of the 2022 Oscars, boobs.
Baby. I was like, there were moments in the evening. I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? Like,
I will say this, Ariana DeBose of that, I just think she looks so freaking hot. I cannot handle life.
That pantsuit.
That pantsuit with that cape.
With a cape.
Never went on her shoulders. It was always like draped down like that. It was so freaking fantastic.
I was just like, there you go. Can we talk about these people now?
No. because
Okay.
you're going to step on what I present. I told you you're going to comment on what I give you.
Okay.
I have some things here. You can start talking. I'm going to put up a slide and you can start talking. Are you ready?
I can start talking.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
I want to be in America. We both have Oscars and look at us.
So talk about what that means to you, Michael.
Well, look, I mean, it's history. I mean,
First of all, Rita Moreno's hat, just say it out loud. It looks fantastic.
I mean, come on. That is nothing but pure beauty and joy right there.
Joy. It's joy is what
Pure beauty and joy. Because they both knew what was about to happen. You know.
Well, and it's okay. So, we have to, Michael, you can't not talk about it because there might be people who tune in and go, I don't know what that's about.
Oh, it's the Academy Awards. It's Ariana DeBose and Rita Moreno, both who won Academy Awards for playing the exact same roles in West Side Story.
But
50 years later.
Years apart. Yeah. Because I think West Side Story was 61, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure someone will correct me, but I think it was 61.
Apart.
60 maybe? Okay. So yeah, it was quite a while ago. So they both won for,
I'm not good at mathing.
This next picture I'm going to show you. When I was watching this, I said, this is such a Michael Shepard moment, and it made me so happy. So I want to know your thoughts.
Child, Miss Thing was up in Compton serving everything.
In tennis ball yellow.
With little Miss Blue Ivy in the front dancing and singing. I was like, come on now.
And the thing is, I don't know that I care for that song, but the performance of the song was extraordinary.
Did everything. 1961. It was 1961. There you go.
So that I thought was such an important, and just to open it with Venus and Serena, to go to the tennis court that they actually played in, that have Beyonce. I just thought, what an awesome opening to the show. I was very pleased with that.
And then, her and Jay-Z just showed up late. Showed up, sat down in the front. I was like, y'all see.
Well, didn't she just, I don't know when they taped that. So, but
that was live.
I heard it was, I don't know. So this, I thought, was one of the most charming moments of the whole thing. I only have 2 more pictures, but this I thought was one of those charming moments of the whole thing.
Troy Kotzer and I don't want to.
Yuya Zhang.
Yeah, because I will.
I know I'm saying it wrong, and it's so funny. She was saying how everyone mispronounced her name. I'm probably mispronouncing Yunya Zhang.
But my favorite thing about that, favorite thing, is that she was just as excited as he was. To the point where they're walking off and she's talking, and you see her just talking to him.
Just talking to him, and he can't hear. Right? It just
And
the fact that she even signed his name as the winner, that was beautiful. The fact that she didn't know to take a step back and give him a space, but then became kind of part of that image forever. It felt like such support. It was really a lovely moment.
It was so beautiful. And I want to talk about the fact that Troy has been a staple in the LA small theater scene for years and years and years. So many of us know him and love him and respect him. And we're so proud of him for that moment. That movie is it's beautiful. It is a little, sweet, but it's beautiful. I didn't care.
It was formulaic, but it's so funny. Most people that I talk to about Coda, even if they know it's formulaic, or even if they know, that we have a friend who said, well, yeah, I could tell from the actors that were speaking, they had no sense of the accent of that, area of the world. It didn't matter because the heart of that movie was so huge, and that's what sold it. It really did. I rewatched it probably the same night you did, right? And I'm just like crying, I still had another half hour to go, and I'm just crying in the last half hour of that movie. It's just amazing. I would talk about Questlove, because that is the biggest.
I
don't have a picture of Questlove, and I meant to, so please do.
That for me, because the slap that heard around the world happened just before his acceptance. And it overshadowed that. But I urge everyone here to watch Summer of Soul, or The Revolution will be televised. I urge you to watch it. It's one of the most beautiful, heartbreaking, wonderful documentaries I've ever seen in my life.
The other thing that strikes me about that, Michael, is it's historic. And it's so necessary now because it was something that was not put out there then. It was filmed, but then it kind of went into a closet, basically.
Yeah.
And the fact that we then went, no, wait a minute, this is relevant now. And then even the fact that it was put in a closet, that it was not put out there right away, that becomes part of our history. And that becomes a part of us as white people, those of us that are white out there. We have to look at why are we silencing any voice that doesn't, have this color skin.
And
Go ahead.
The fact that we celebrated Woodstock.
Yeah, we celebrated Woodstock. Yeah.
This event happened, and it was just crazy. I want to say, hey, Vicky Hoffman, haven't seen you in a while, girl.
Well,
Yes, I finally saw it.
But this goes along with that. I also wanted to say out loud, because there were 3 movies that I told you would win. And then that meant that one movie would not. And the movies that I told you would win, Summer of Soul, Encanto, and Drive My Car. I said, those are going to win. And that means Flea, which I thought was such an amazing film and was nominated in all those categories: Best Animation, Best Documentary, Best Foreign, no, they don't call it foreign language film. Is it foreign language? I forget. They have a whole wording. But anyway, Flea did not win. But Flea was I'm glad it was able to be nominated in all those categories because it was an amazing film. But I liked all 3 of those films.
I think
Speaking of Encanto, I didn't have a picture of Megan Thee Stallion when they sang Bruno. That was another one. I said, that's a Michael Shepard moment right there.
Megan came out, and I was like, and I was with my cast, and all the black people were like, Megan, and all the white people were like, who's that? Much like a lot of white people at home, I'm sure.
I have another picture. This is the picture you told me to get, so hopefully you'll know what this is and can talk about it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it is?
This? Why did I get this?
It's Diane Warren not winning for the 13th time.
Honey.
Billie Eilish won the award for Best Song. Diane Warren, wearing green down in the corner, her 13th Academy Award nomination, and she did not win. 13. She's the Susan Lucci of...
Honey, she lost to Billie Eilish.
There are people out there that are Billie Eilish fans. Some people were praising her.
I'm happy for you, but I am like, hey, Fiona, what I think has to happen now is that Diane Warren is going to write a crappy song, and they're just going to give her an Academy Award for her body of work. And I don't think Diane Warren can write a crappy song, though. I just think, they have to give her something.
I have to say, it was my least favorite song of the bunch, unfortunately.
But they have to give her something.
Okay, this was the last moment of the Oscars. I think we all melted just a little bit.
All right. I got you.
I got you.
I got you.
Well, and I think this is the moment where she's literally saying, they're all out there. They all remember you. They're your fans. She said that, what was Cabaret's 50 years old is what she said.
Yeah.
And I want to be a better person because of Lady Gaga, I think.
You know what?
The woman was not nominated for Best Actress, and she was still there.
I was one of those homer back in the day that was like, oh, she just stole Madonna's act. That's all she did. And I was like...
There's that one song that you and I both were like, that's Madonna. I think Madonna said that's Madonna. I can't remember which one it is now.
Born This Way.
And Born This Way. That's exactly it.
And so, but now she is like, I stand her. I stand her. I do. I stand.
Well, she's just talent. She's a bundle of talent, Lady Gaga. And in that moment, she was not just talent. She was also consideration. She was love. She was respect of elders. She made it all about Liza. You could see there were moments. Liza got nervous. I don't know what to do next. And Lady Gaga's like, I have this.
I got you.
I'm here for you. Yeah. And it really touched me. It was I thought was a great ending for the show.
I started going through my list of people, and I was like, who gonna say that to me? I got you. Because you'll be off with the pool boy someplace.
I'm like, no, Cabana Boy. I told you. Cabana Boy.
I'll be sitting there waiting for somebody to say, I got you. Trying to get to the bathroom.
One more thing that the evening brought us, Michael Shepard.
What's that?
It gave us a hashtag.
Thank you.
Lady Gaga and Just.
Yes.
Are you still out there?
Yes.
I have to show you what this is. To the wall.
I switched baristas.
I know. Well, good seeing you.
You too.
I've switched baristas.
I've switched baristas. So online they're saying there's no more bye Felicia. Now it's, and she had a little thing on her face. I switched baristas. And I thought people would be interested. You can go to Etsy and buy your own I've switched baristas sticker for $1.99. For those that are interested.
That was the best shade of the entire night.
I've switched baristas.
I don't see you anymore at the Starbucks. I've switched baristas.
She did.
That is pure fucking shade right there.
And to come after Liza and the support she gives Liza, and then here's, you know, good old Caitlyn Jenner, and she's like, yeah, not you. No, I don't. The love.
I've switched baristas.
Stop. I've switched baristas.
You will no longer see me in Malibu because why? I've switched baristas. All right.
As Bethany said, yeah.
I've switched baristas. Iconic, baby. Iconic. All right. I don't know what else is on our list, but we spent a lot of damn time on this Oscars.
I'm lost. Where are we with time? Okay. Well, we have to do this. I have to do this. This is so important to me. And I think it's so historical. And it's unfortunate that it came so late. What are you putting your finger up for?
Because I know what you're about to say. I don't have my list in front of me, but I know what you're about to say.
We're leaving entertainment entirely, except I'm reminding you, Willie Ames back in the day, Willie Ames today. Okay, it came to me. He is not the Cabana Boy.
You know what, though?
Can I tell you who might be the Cabana Boy? Mr. Vietnam.
Mr. Vietnam. I would watch you do it with him. I just didn't watch.
I wish I knew his name, Mr. Vietnam. I'd be like, hey, Mr. Vietnam.
No, see, honey, again, I'm trying to teach you the gay way. You don't need to know his name.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. It is true. I'm very bad. We're going to just jump in. There's not a segue here.
All right.
Joe Biden on the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. I think this is an important step for the United States. We'll talk about the reasons why, but here are Joe's words.
Lynching was pure terror to enforce the lie that not everyone belongs in America, not everyone is created equal. Innocent men, women, and children hung by nooses from trees, bodies burned and drowned and castrated. Their crimes? Simply being black. Often the crowds of white families gathered to celebrate the spectacle, taking pictures of the bodies and mailing them as postcards. The same racial hatred that drove the mob to hang a noose brought that mob carrying torches out of the fields of Charlottesville. Racial hate isn't an old problem. It's a persistent problem. Ida B. Wells once said, quote, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon the wrongs."
Say what you will.
I'm sorry the volume was so low, but I was so impressed with that speech, and he stumbles over words still and all of that. And it's, not Obama, we know, it's certainly not Trump, but the man had the right words. And I was so impressed with that speech. But can I just say one more thing? For those of you who have not seen that, I went back and did the research. Kamala Harris speaks, and Ida B. Wells's great-granddaughter speaks, I want to say. But it might be a 20-minute clip, but it was actually, I thought it was so impressive, and I felt like such history in the making that it's taken us, how many years? 122 years.
To not lynch black people.
Well, lynching in general, but mostly black people, yeah. So for 122 years, Michael, we've had nearly 200 times anti-lynching bills have come to the government to be passed. And finally, after 122 years and almost 200 times, we passed it. Weirdly, it passed, and this is such an anomaly. The Senate passed it unanimously, which always gives me a little bit of hope that they're not all assholes all the time. And it is punishable. Lynchings are punishable for 30 years in prison. So I think it was historic and it needed to be done.
Here in the land, being here in the land of lynching.
Yeah.
Well,
you have a museum that has all of those.
Yeah.
All of those nooses.
Yeah. And the fact that there's a sign in Selma that talks about the last public lynching that they know of was 1939. 1939. Yes, your parents and your grandparents were there.
Technically, I think Matthew Shepard was lynched. I think technically that was a lynching.
No, that was just murder, and that was a hate crime. That was not lynching. You cannot use a white person's death, no matter how horrific it was.
You're right on that one. You're right. But and
claim it to be a lynching. You cannot do that.
I won't. No, I won't. I agree with you.
That was one individual.
But Michael, that might be in Selma, but there are lynchings that went up to 68.
I know. I'm just saying there's a sign that says that, but you cannot compare what happened with that young man.
No, I'm not trying comparisons. I'm not comparing. I was just kind of
the word lynching though, and you can't do that. You cannot.
I won't. I shan't. The bill is long overdue. It needed to be signed. I'm glad that there was unanimous support in the Senate, and it's insane that here we are finally today having an anti-lynching bill.
We have not mattered for so very long. Not mattered for so very long. And the fact that 2022, that someone could lynch me tomorrow and get probably 15 years. Because it says up to 30 years. Get 15 years and get 5 years kicked off for good behavior. I could be lynched and someone would get 10 years. I want to be clear about that. That even though this bill says 30 years, it should say death. If you lynch somebody, you should be dead. You should be, the family of the person you lynched should get to have you for a weekend in the house. For those of you who say,
I'm not against that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Don't advocate violence. Lynch somebody in my family. Because a lot of the people who are saying don't advocate violence are part of the history of violence in this country. And I want to be very clear about that. Be careful when you say don't advocate violence when you're not dealing with the violence of your parents and your grandparents and their parents.
When help me understand something. When you say the violence of your parents, the violence that was perpetrated on them?
Palm-colored people are the perpetrators of violence in this country. If we are to look at it, I mean, I know they want to twist and say black on black crime and all this violence happens in the black community. When you have people who are falsely accused of something and you have a group of 2,000 white men come to a jail to hang black people, to beat them, stomp them, break their bones, and then shoot bullet holes through them and then hang them, who are the perpetuators of violence in this country?
Well, you're speaking truth.
Let's be clear about that. So, we start talking about this whole thing about what happened at the awards. This is one incident. If we're going to talk about it, let's go all the way back. When I talk about it being nuanced, let's go all the way back and talk about violence and male violence. And let's start talking about, colored people who perpetuated violence for centuries. Let's talk about that.
Well, you said something that I found confusing.
What was that?
You went colored people, but I heard colored people, not
palm-colored people.
Yeah, palm-colored people.
The egg people, mayonnaise Americans. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about violence. Let's talk about that part of violence. Let's talk about that part. If we're going to go there and have this conversation in America today, let's talk about that.
We've been talking about that.
Yeah, we do. But we're amazing.
Well, we're boozing with gays. It's hard to move on from that because the energy right now is so. I mean, it does hit me in my center, right? I mean, it just hits me. I'm very appreciative of what you said, but it isn't easy to hear.
It's hard, and you know what? But it's a conversation we have to have. And one of the reasons we're not having that conversation is because our male sapient Americans are like saying, "I don't want to have that conversation." Which
say that again. The what Americans?
Male sapient.
White male sapient Americans. Mayonnaise sapient Americans.
So, anyway,
So, Michael, just to go a different direction, quote of the week. I have a quote of the week.
I don't know about this. Do it.
I don't think you do know about this. So, Nancy Pelosi on was asked about Clarence Thomas recusing himself. I know. We go right back there. And Ginny Thomas, the whole thing. I think we all know the thing. But this is the quote of the week. Will you read it out loud for me, please?
Apparently I will, yes. It's up to an individual justice to decide to recuse himself if his wife is participating in a coup.
It's my quote of the week.
Honey.
Go, Nancy Pelosi. Well, it's actually up to the justice to determine if she's...
I can't even talk about Ginny Thomas, honey. I can't even talk about that. All I know is she's sitting there across from Clarence Thomas with a teacup and a spoon.
Oh my God, yeah, doing stir, 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 stir.
Tit, tit, tit. That's what she's doing.
All right. I think we just have to dive into this one too. Madison Cawthorn was on the podcast Warrior Post Society, and this video came out, and we're all talking about it.
The sexual perversion that goes on in Washington, I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington with the average age is probably 60 or 70, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you.
First of all, he knows what a key bump is.
Well, I mean, he's our young...
Michelle Banks.
He's 26 years old. The guy is like a baby, and he's in Washington.
Michelle, he knows what a key bump is.
He knows
that mug has been...
So the interesting thing about this story is, Marjorie Taylor Greene has talked with, white supremacists, and we've had all of them, Matt Gaetz, all of them are doing bad things, and the Republicans have held strong. They've said, no, we're going to stand by our people. This guy comes out and say, there's a bunch of orgies amongst the Republican Party, and the Republicans say, okay, you have stepped over the line. No, Madison, you can't say that. They've called him into task. They have, tried to rebut it. Poor what's-his-face, McCarthy's like, oh, we don't have orgies. Not really.
And let's be clear. You can look at that boy and you can tell he can't fuck. And this has nothing to do with him being in a wheelchair, because I've been with somebody who was in a wheelchair. They can still do what they need to do. But you can look at that boy and go, you ain't got no game. Ain't nothing you doing.
And just to kind of put out who Madison Cawthorn is, I mean, he was the guy that let, Zelensky, president of Ukraine, he labeled Zelensky a thug. He said that the rioters on January 6th were all Democrats. He jumped right behind Trump in that kind of, I'm going to lie about everything and just keep spinning it type of politics. So everything he says is called to question. Who knows what's real? Who knows if there are orgies over there?
Honey, he told the truth. He spoke the truth.
Michael, he's not a man known for speaking the truth.
But that's one of those moments where it's like, the party of morals.
Michael, read this.
Not saying anything is wrong with having a sex club, y'all. Trust.
Read this.
What is it?
AOC.
Not sure why Republicans are acting so shocked by Cawthorn's alleged revelations about their party. One of their members is being investigated for sex trafficking a minor, and they've been pretty okay with that. They issued more consequences to members who voted to impeach Trump. Oh, see.
Where's the truth? Liz Cheney has received more damnation from the Republican Party than Madison Cawthorn. Anyway, they're kind of all inside out in what they say. He's a case. And it was weird. I told you I did a little bit of a dive on him, and his lies are kind of prevalent. He has people from back home, his best friend. People speak out against his lies and saying that didn't happen. That's not the way we went down.
Hey, Bay. What happens in the Republican orgy club stays in the Republican orgy club. But who wants to fuck in people?
Well, the other thing he said on that whole thing is, I'm kind of young. I'm 26. The average age of the Republican Party is like 60 or 70. What orgy club is he going to? 60 and 70-year-olds are getting it up. I don't know.
Hello. Us is almost there. I just want to say, oh, honey.
I have one more item. You know what it is. I made a graphic for it.
Okay.
Here we go. TikTok of the week, Michael Shepard.
This is the most perfect thing. I found this and I was like.
This TikTok of the week was presented by Michael Shepard. I don't know exactly who this person is. The handle is Caramel Flava. I trust that's enough.
I woke up gay again today. Now I gotta go do gay shit.
I like how my intro was longer than the actual TikTok.
It's enough.
I'm doing it one more time because it makes me laugh. Here we go.
I woke up gay again today. Now I gotta go do gay shit.
Now I gotta go do gay shit. I feel like that's my everyday of my life.
I woke up gay. Now I gotta do gay shit. By the way, Matthew Black says his 69-year-old boyfriend still gets it up.
Oh, good. There's hope.
I ain't mad. Hey, baby. I got to go prepare for an audition that I have on Sunday.
Haven't you been doing a little bit of that today?
I did some today. I did all the music stuff today, but I got to do the scene stuff Sunday morning.
So this is something you can't talk about, but everyone's
talk about it.
Positive vibes.
And positive vibes. But my manager's on this. My manager's on this call right now, so
I see your manager's on the call.
They want to make sure they know. Oh no, we working on this. It's a big deal. So 2 weeks from tonight, because we are off, I'm going to be in San Francisco with my family next week. 2 weeks from tonight, we will be together in the same room. Yay! Yay!
You will be out of Alabama.
Yay! Actually, I will say I've had a lovely time here. The people at the theater have been amazing. The cast is great. I'm pouring more vodka.
I'm about to get into a car and go to a party.
I love that about you.
I know.
All right, so you go do your thing. I'm gonna actually go and finish learning these lines, so I'm ready for Sunday morning.
Say bye to the people, Michael Shepard.
Hey, I love you, and I love your new glasses.
Bash is coming in.
Hi, Nunu. Hey, New.
Don't be crazy. Look at your face. It's crazy face. Just smile. There's my handsome boy.
Oh Lord. All right.
Johnny, guess what?
No. All right.
Wait.
No, gays. No, we're not. I got to tell you something.
Well, you will tell Daddy something. Just wave goodbye and then you can tell Daddy.
Goodbye.
2 weeks
All
from tonight. Love you all.
Love you all. Bye. See you in a couple weeks.